so you remember this grey colour that I mixed before? I'm just going to use a bit of that on either side with the brush. And I'm just going to go over this area I put in here just for the wave slightly. Just put a bit of that colour in. Still want it to look like it's crashing out over there. So I'm just adding a bit of this colour to it so that basically I can come back and just in here I want to actually indicate a few bits and stuff going on just in this background area. Just like this colour that I'm using, it's the blue, black, white and a bit of the brown with it as well. But very subtle up in there. I don't want to overdo it in the background. I want it to be softer. Nice and soft. Just back in there. And then just coming into this area, we've got quite a bit of just in here where the waves come crashing in. I'm just going to indicate that with this light colour first. You know, the way that the waves actually come crashing in. And then once I've done that, I've got a good idea basically of how it's going to go with the dark and the light, and then that is an area that comes crashing in further down there. And it's not a straight blue that I'm using on this, it's a mixture of the blue, black, crimson and also the browns. I want to blend them soft because they're just indications. See, I want a bit of that colour. I'll mix them up again. I'm going to use a bit of the brown, blue, crimson, black. Mix all that together good and well, and then I'll mix it with the white. Mix it with the white. Now see that it's not enough to the blue side, so I'll just get a bit more blue. It's easy to go one way or the other, something like so. And that's the colour basically, but I need a load more white in with it. So the best bet is to actually wipe the brush off. I wipe the brush off completely, get as much of the paint off as possible, and what's left on there will be just enough once I've mixed it with the white to make this light grey colour, this light bluey grey colour. Right, so I'll get some titanium white, putting that on there, allow it to mix with the colours on that. There, see that? And you can twang it. I don't want it to red side, I want it slightly, if anything, slightly to the blue side. So when I'm mixing, I'm always keeping that in mind. I want it to be very light. So again, I'll get some more white and put it out there. I'll use all these different grades eventually, but for this one I want it to be quite light, like so. Let's try that. Yeah, that's good. Now you're getting a lot of ruffling about up here as well with the waves and all of this going on. But don't kill it with this colour. Leave that other colour that you've got in there showing. It's important, is that. That's why you put it in there in the first place. You didn't put it in there to cover it up with this colour. This is just to help create some little waves and stuff that we've got going on in there. This is quite a little rough sea, is this. And then we can put some bigger waves in between which will really stand out. We've got some rocks out in the water there. That's what's creating that little ripple there. Sometimes you should go back into these areas as well. Make them a bit softer. We'll be bringing some more of this colour into this as well. This brownish colour. So I'm just going to even into this wave here, we've got it, so it's given a bit of a reprieve. It comes in to there, there's this wave, and then it goes back out. See that? I'm just using the blue tones and then leaving it light where there's just beach showing. This is just beach, the light showing on the beach. And then that actually comes right into that. Leave a little bit of that colour showing still. And then you can go back and blend into it, just like so. Some lovely stuff going on. Maybe just down in here we can have it so that it's quite a bit more rough and rapid. We're going to have a rock in there, so have a bit more colour tone, a bit more colour definition just down in here. Sometimes I use just the flat of the brush, use it straight on for these. But then as you come up, start showing more of that colour through that's underneath. Again, like we did before. It's a look like waves and all that stuff that's going to come crashing in there. And that's why I've mixed up basically 3 different mixtures of this grey, bluey grey colour. Right, just with that bit of colour that I've got on there, I'm just going to put a few more just going on up in there as well. On the beach it's a bit straighter, and then as it comes out it gets more choppy and stuff. Very, very subtle, this ocean, very, very subtle. The only reason this part back here is quite so distinct is because we're going to have a rock that is set in that little wave. It's just crashing on a wave there, is this rock. I'm going to use that same colour, which is this brown, and then I'm going to use that and I'm going to come along in here and I'm going to indicate this wave slightly showing a little bit just over there, but it dies off as it goes into the beach, into a flat area. See that? It just flattens out as it goes into the beach. Nice and soft. In between them red blues that you put in there, you can also just wash a bit of this in now and again, this colour, just here and there, a few little waves in between. Even into the blue area bits. Don't come past that point. So I'm just basically just getting a little bit of this brown over this water as well as maybe just over there. I've got quite a bit of it because I'm going to have a crashing little wave coming in over that, and that'll be a nice shadow behind it. Go back into these bits and you can blend them a bit softer as well whenever you choose. There we go. Some lovely colours in this though. Even in here we've got a little dark bit. I got a tiny bit too much on there, more than I wanted, so I'll just go back to my 1-inch brush and just blend that out softly, and then that's fine. Blend over what I've just done. brush and make it soft. Now, the whole idea now is that I'm going to bring some white into this as well. Just a bit of white. Before that though, I just noticed something. I just want to change a bit more white with this brown. Just up in here I want to indicate that wave again. It's blended out a bit too much. There's something behind it maybe as well. And then if you want, if you've got a clean brush like I have here, I'll just go back to that and just blend it out softly, that bit. There. This will look like I've got a bit of something going on in there. Well, now I'm straight back to titanium white. Just straight titanium, both sides of the brush. And with that, I can just come in, put a few little highlights wherever I want, especially in here where the light source is. A few little crashes on top of them waves basically. Just coming in. You don't want to overkill, just enough of this. Maybe a tiny bit of it in the background where the waves are crashing over slightly. It'll stand out best in the in the darker areas. So for instance, I know that we've got a load of waves there crashing over in here. If I just use the corner, I can actually just highlight that, create some little crashes and splashes. It's coming over onto this beach just there. See that? Where the waves have broken over. A bit of movement, foamy stuff going on just in there. Now, same again, I just want to put a little white highlight on top of this where waves crashing over. Same over there. A few little crashes and that. I'm happy with how this is going. Really got some beautiful rocks to put in yet. I'm really looking. The rocks will bring all of this together. What we've been doing. Brilliant. Can't wait. Now I want to put some. See them little dark areas that I made? Just by putting that bit of white over them, it just turns them straight into little waves. So easy to do. And it's so effective as well. See that you can even stipple some bigger spots on where it looks like it's splashing. I love to do that. A few bits that come up a bit higher. So then in here we've got a wave that actually rolls in right over that. You're going back into that white and just tap like so, and then into the dark spots. Look, it'll still stand out lovely for you, as though them waves are just there trickling in. Really nice effect. We're going to have them crashing over some rocks and stuff as well in here, but this is like the area where the waves have come out into a little roll just on the beach. Little big splashes going on in there, where I'm going to have a couple of rocks and then it'll go out onto the beach. to be quite wide. Just in there. See, these waves will get bigger the closer to you they come. I'll put a shadow into these as well, and that'll really set them off. Could have put the shadow in first, but you find if you do that and you put the shadow in first, then the white mixes a little bit too much and you'll struggle to get it on there properly. There. Some real character going on in this water. All these beautiful colours in it. It's just exactly what the doctor ordered. And here and there you can just go in between all of that. Just now and then though, not always. In the dark areas you can do that, it'll have most effect in the dark areas. Smart. You really have a lot more going on in that background. It's like I said, there's a lot of movement. It'll disappear slightly as it goes into the distance. You'll hardly see it. It's just in these areas really. In these spots where you'll see it. Just got one coming in from there. Foamy stuff going on, all sorts. And just in here, we're going to basically have a few areas that are like so, but then there's a lot of areas which are like as though the water's coming in and then going straight back out again. See that? So it's come up the beach, up into here, and then it's gone back out like it does when it's rolling in there, and that starts all that way, even just indicate a bit brighter in spots. See that? Same just in there, just indicate that a little bit brighter, and it was just really zing out there, as though that water's just flooding back out to the ocean. Great stuff. I love all these colours. Absolutely adore them. Right, so very soon I'm going to have to start getting my mind on getting some of these rocks in. So for the minute I'm just going to basically put a bit more dark just back in this area, just down in here. I lost a bit of it with the light, so it's all looked up. There's a wave that comes over there and crashes over the rock, so I can put a shadow in for that. Put a few shadows in for some of these waves. Crashing in. Not too over the top though, just subtly now and again. Like in there. It will actually mix with the white that you've already got on there, you see, as well. That's a good thing. But in here we need these darks. So just blend them out slightly now. There. Same with that. Blend them out. And I can have the crashing wave actually. If you get too much paint on sometimes, there's going to be a rock here, a big rock, just here. I'll show you with the knife. It's going to be coming in about there, and then we're going to have a wave that comes over like so. for now, I'm just going to use the white. I'm just going to bring that so it's smooth. Now the white that we put on later is going to have something to stand out against. With a bit of something going on. Now we'll put that rock in now at this stage. Just use a filbert brush. I'll use the dark sienna, black, crimson, light red, all them colours. It's predominantly dark, it's a dark one, and it's just here in the water, somewhere about there. That's it, and they're quite pointy, got a little pointy top to it, so keep that in your mind as you're painting it. Always the character of these rocks is important. Right, now I know there's a wave crashing over that, so I don't want to put that dark where I want the white wave to be. There. That's it, something about like so. I want to put a load more rocks in the background. Got another little rock just at the side of it, just there. Lovely colours. Right, now I can put a wave coming crashing over that. In the background I might have to use a smaller brush. I'll try for now with this one, but I think I'm going to have to use a smaller brush. Now just up in here we've got one. It's just above this wave. Up there. And this is quite a longish one, and then it comes down. But there's not loads of it showing. It's only that bit showing, and then the waves come crashing over it. See that? We'll put the waves crashing into that actually. When I come back. Got that one. And then just behind it, actually in the water, we've got a tall one. Which comes up like so. It's quite a pointy one. Don't want to bring it too far down. This is where I should be using the small brush really, but you know what I'm like. I get as much done as I can with a big brush, and then I'll go back. I've got one just up in there. A tiny bit further behind that one. Right, another little one there. I'm going to have to start using my small brush soon. Saying that, there's one that's a bit bigger than that in the background. Just over in here, we've got one. Just there. And it is in dark silhouette as well actually. And then just behind that we've got a few like little rocks and stuff going into it. See that? And then we've actually got a load of boulders and rocks and all this going on just there. And that's going to create a separate layer from this background. These rocks are really good. Quite weird shapes. But then this land area will just like so, just loads and loads of little boulders all together. Keep reloading my brush all the time because I'm wanting to create little effects like so. You need plenty of colour on your brush when you're doing this. A couple, so just go back up into there. So, and then we've got one big one, which is up here. It's quite dark as well. so it'll stand out there from what you've got behind.